Hello there. Happy Monday. We got a 6-game slate. Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back with another week of NBA basketball. It's a weird scheduling week again. We got 6 games on Monday, one NBA Cup championship game on Tuesday, and then Wednesday has absolutely 0 games. Just been a weird couple weeks in the NBA. And speaking of that, it's been a rocky couple weeks for us with betting as well. I have had some rough luck, bad beats, and some bad reads in there as well. But we got off to a great start this season. Hopefully, we can get back on that track. It's a long season. You're going to have your ups and downs in betting, and that's why it's called betting. So, but before we get into a quick reminder, NFL Monday Night Football Best Bets video is out now. There is 2 Monday Night Football games, and I give my 3 best bets and break down each one. So go check that out when you get a chance. But let's get into it. Any graphics you see in this video are from an app called OUTLIER, the best player prop research tool on the market. I use it every single day. If you want to try it out, 7-day free trial by clicking the link below and get started. So let's get into it. That means it's time for the Monday dad joke. Here we go. People always asked if I played basketball because I was tall, but they stopped asking me after I asked them if they play mini golf. In this video, we're going to recap the weekend, and then we're going to talk defenses versus the point guard position. Defenses that give up the most points, rebounds, and assists, and also the defenses that give up the least points, rebounds, and assists to the point guard position. And then we're going to give you our best bets and wrap it all up with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We have an awesome community here, especially in the Discord, which is free. Click that link below. We talk sports every single day and have a lot of fun doing it. So let's get into it, and that means it's recap time. All right, here is the weekend recap. It was a 3-4 weekend, and let's go over James Harden over 13.5 rebounds plus assists, heading his way right over, and then the Clippers are getting blown out. They were up 1 or down 1 at halftime, and we still lost because of a blowout. The Clippers were down 20 with 8 minutes to go, and they pulled their starters. Yes, I know. Really strong fight there, by the Clippers. Decided to just wave the white flag already. It was brutal, so we lost on a blowout. Walker Kessler over 21.5 points plus rebounds. It got sweatier than it needed to. Great first quarter, and then he slowed down, but he still cashed at the end with a free throw. And then Rudy Gobert double-double was a cash, I think mid-4th quarter, right in that range. And then Embiid 25 plus points, Micic 6 plus assists. I don't remember if Micic got it. He might have been 1 short anyways. But Joel Embiid left with yet another injury, a sinus fracture or something like that. So that was a loss. And then Rui Hachimura, he continues our streak of shooters that are just absolutely ice cold. He shot 4 for 13. We only needed 14 points on 13 shots. Should not have been very hard. He ended with like 9 points, I think. He just couldn't make anything. Saturday in the NBA Cup games, Hartenstein over 21.5 points plus rebounds. That was a nice, easy winner. And Jalen Johnson, we continue the streak. That's right. How about shooting 6 for 15? It was just absolutely atrocious. He couldn't shoot at all. And if you guys remember from, I think, Wednesday or Thursday last week, Malik Monk was like 1 for 10. He was horrendous shooting. So we've had about 3 or 4 shooters in a row that have been struggling, but it's not going to scare me away. Eventually, they will fall. All we can do is bet on their volume and their chances and good looks and things like that. So there's the under tracker. We got to pick up on some more unders, that's for sure. But 30-15 on the year, and there's the breakdown after that ridiculously good run at the beginning of the season. Now eating. I don't know why I said that, but now they're eating into our profits a little bit. We're up 5.98 units, 96-80 on the season. So that's the weekend bets recap. And now let's talk some point guards. All right, we start out with the defenses giving up the most points to the point guard position. Anything in green, that means that team or player is playing today. We got 2 matchups. The Nuggets, giving up around 25 points per game to the point guard position, are facing De'Aaron Fox, averaging 26.1. And then we got the Charlotte Hornets facing Tyrese Maxey, 24.2 points per game. He will now be playing without Joel Embiid and without McCann, who is going to be out for a while as well, as the bad luck continues for Philadelphia. But the Nets up there, they are also playing today. And they're averaging 26.3 points per game given up to the point guard position. LaMelo Ball, I put him back on the list because he actually may return on Monday, something to keep an eye on. And then there's all the rest of the guys and the team. So take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you get some winners. And now let's look at the rebounds. And we got no matchups here, but the Bulls are playing and the Hornets in the top 10. Thunder giving up the most rebounds per game at 7.2. And then over there we got Cunningham, Harden, Giddey, Ball, and De'Aaron Fox all playing today. So there's the rebounds. Now let's take a look at the assists, and we have 2 matchups. The Jazz are facing James Harden of the Clippers, who's averaging 8.4 assists per game. Jazz giving up a ton, 9.9. And then the Bulls, We know they play fast, and that's why they give up a lot of assists, or one of the reasons. 10.33. Pelicans up there at the number 1 position, or dead last, however you look at it. But the one matchup here is the Heat, 9.1 assists per game, facing Cade Cunningham, who is averaging 9.3. So that's what we got for the points, rebounds, and assists with the good matchups. Now, let's take a look at the bad matchups here. And there it is. We got 2 teams playing that have given up the most, or not the most, the least amount of points to the point guard position in the 76ers and the Kings. Clippers also up there in the top 10, and then the rest of them. And then the fewest rebounds point guards, got a lot of teams playing today. Nuggets and Kings giving up the fewest rebounds to that position. And then Pistons and Clippers also in the top 5. And then the Raptors, who have been up there for quite a bit. Jalen Brunson has been able to get some assists against them, but other than that, not many point guards have. The Raptors only giving up 6.7 assists per game, along with the Suns at 6.7. There's all the rest. Pistons and Kings are the other 2 in the top 10 that are playing today. So that's what we got for all the matchups with the point guard position. We like to do a position every single day, Monday through Friday, every week. But now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to LA, where the Clippers are hosting the Utah Jazz. Clippers minus 8.5. Total in this one is 224.5. Yep, I'm doing another player prop on a Clippers player. Give me Norman Powell over 20.5 points. I got this at minus 125 on ESPN Bet. I'm going to put a unit on it. I'm not shying away from shooters, even though right now I probably should be, but it feels like we're getting a little bit of a discount here. So let's go into Outlier and check out some numbers on this one and see what we're looking at. So 2024, as you can see there, he's over in 12 of 19 games. So, a decent hit rate there, but he's averaging 23.16 points per game. That kind of goes back to this discount we're getting. But if we go to the last 10, if you look up there, go to the last 10, you can see 5 of 10 games, nothing big there, but the last 4 are since his injury. And he's over in 3 of the last 5, obviously, but the under in the last 2 were just because of bad shooting. I mean, he had 17 and 16 points. Let's go a little under that and scroll down now. And we can see he's still taking a ton of shots. He even took 18, 14 the last 2 games. He's averaging 15.4 field goal attempts in the last 10 games. He's taken 7.5 3 balls per game in the last 10 games. So, I mean, it's not like his shooting and volume are down. And he's obviously good with James Harden. He can find them. Now, let's go back up to the top and let's look at 2024 and the home numbers. So if you go there, you click on home, and then we click on 2024 as well, and you can see that he's crushing this. He's over in 9 of 12 games. One under was an injury the first home game against the Phoenix Suns. He only played 16 minutes. Doesn't even count at all. Another under was against the Rockets team that's a top 5 position against his position, or top 5 defense versus his position and what he likes to do, which is shoot. And another was against his same exact Jazz team. Yes, he did go under against his Jazz team. But if we scroll down to that game, as you can see, you scroll down, you can see right underneath it, right there, he took 17 shots and made 6. He just didn't make any shots. That's just what it is. It happens sometimes. But as you can see in those numbers right there from home, he's shooting 49% from the field, 49% from downtown at home this season as well. So now let's dive into the matchup. You can see over there, versus shooting guards, the Jazz are ranked 29th versus shooting guards in points allowed. So obviously an absolutely great matchup, but let's dive even deeper into this matchup. They've also given up the second most made 3-pointers to shooting guards. Obviously, we know Norman Powell likes to shoot threes. And in fact, they've given up the most catch and shoot 3-point attempts in the entire NBA, not just to his position, the most catch and shoot 3-point attempts in the NBA. Why is that important? Powell likes to do that, and Harden likes to find him. Powell is top 20 in the most points per game from spot ups, and the Jazz also struggle in transition. How does that help? Well, because Powell's really good at it. The Jazz have given up the second most fast break points in the entire NBA at 18.6. Powell has scored the 3rd most points per game in the NBA in transition. Pretty crazy, I know. So this matchup is just absolute heaven. I know he went under last time against them, but again, I don't mind it because as long as the volume's there, it's going to be up to him to knock it down. All we can do is bet on guys that are going to have good looks, good opportunities, a lot of volume. We can't shoot for them. Someone needs to come through for us and break this cold streak and make some freaking shots. And hopefully that is Mr. Norman Powell. So that's what I got as my first best bet. Give me Powell over 20.5 points. All right, this second one takes us out to Brooklyn, where the Nets host the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs, a big minus 9.5. Total in this game is 219. This is going to be my final bet on the video. Not all the lines are out. I'm going to have another added play or 2 in the morning in the pinned comments, X, and Discord. But for now, we got an under. Give me Nicholas Claxton under 14.5 points plus assists at minus 130 on DraftKings for 1 unit. If you can only get it at 13.5, I know some books are already moving there. I don't mind that. Probably a half unit play for me. Obviously, you guys do what you want, but just want to let you know. The Nets, if you don't know, just traded Dennis Schroeder to the Golden State Warriors. In the 2 games without him, for what it's worth, he's way under in both of those games, 7 and 10 PAs. I expect Ben Simmons to play point guard more, maybe even start. We'll see how they do it. In the games with Ben Simmons, he's also under this in 10 of 14 games. 12 of those were with Schroeder, obviously. But just want to give you those numbers. But let's dive more into the numbers for Claxton this year. He is averaging 11.95 points plus assists per game. So we're getting a line that's much higher than his average in a very tough matchup, which we'll talk about in just a bit. He's also averaging 25.4 minutes per game, only taking 7 shots per game. Obviously, that's why you see a low line. This is not a guy who shoots much at all. He's also only averaging 2.9 potential assists per game. He's actually had 3 or less potential assists in 8 straight games. So, I mean, the potentials are just flat out not there. Now let's talk about the matchup. The Cavs, if you guys know, big in the front court. They are giving up the 8th fewest points to the center position, 9th fewest assists to the center position, and they have similar numbers to a Magic defense that Claxton has already played 3 times. He had 9, 10, and 7 PAs in those 3 games. He also faced the Cavaliers earlier this year. He got close. He had 14 PAs, but he did that by converting all 4 potential assists into 4 actual assists. That's not very common. And he also made 4 or 5 shots, so he didn't miss much, which obviously he's not a guy who's going to miss a ton with where he shoots. But even by missing only 1 shot, converting all 4 assists, he still ended up with 14. But the part I really love about this matchup is Claxton is literally only capable of scoring in the paint. That's just what he does, and it's not because he's a great post-up player or anything. It's usually off like offensive rebounds and putbacks and things like that. Almost every single point he's scored, it's been crazy. It has been in the paint. Cavs are giving up the 5th fewest points in the points per game in the paint at only 46 points. We know Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, these guys have size. It is going to be tough. Obviously, you know, you can get lucky with a few tip backs or tip ins and things like that. But other than that, I think 14.5 is a little too high for him. And also, of course, without Dennis Schroeder especially, but it already was, a blowout is very, very much in the picture in this one as well. So maybe we get even closer to 20 minutes. So give me St. Nick under 14.5 points plus assists as my second and final best bet for this video. Again, added plays will be coming in the morning. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. We got 2 best bets. Give me Norman Powell over 20.5 points at minus 125 on ESPN bet for 1 unit. And then Mr. Nick Claxton under 14.5 points plus assists at minus 130 for another unit. I'm coming out aggressive again. You know, we're due for a hot streak. And I like these 2 plays. And again, any added plays will be there in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. So that's what we got. Thank you guys for listening. As always, hit that like button if you haven't already and go check out the Monday Night Football video. Let's have a great start to the week, but hope you guys have a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.